Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? Little flub there, but hey, we're good to go, right?
Yeah,
And
we're getting
welcome.
started, buddy, on the right foot, right? I love it.
Yes, yes. I should have started the sound effects for the crickets, but welcome to the first M&C Mornings, episode 1. Skype lines now open throughout the show. You can find us. You have to add us on Skype. MC Mornings, just one word, MC Mornings, and then that's how you can get a hold of us and call in live whenever you want. Because Jay Williams, the producer of M&C Mornings, loves it, and he is absolutely off to an amazing start.
There's the producer right now.
Yeah,
That's Jay taking a shower. We're so early in the morning, you know. The Canadians, they have a different schedule than we do. So
hey, that was only about
yeah.
45 seconds late, but good job anyway. Anyway, welcome to the show. It's a new type of show, M&C Mornings. We're going to kick it off on my channel this week, and what we decided to do was have something that not a lot of people were doing, or nobody that we've seen, which was kind of do a laid-back, more of a radio show type of situation, and it's going to alternate between my channel and Mooch's channel. So next week it'll be on Mooch's channel, and he'll be doing the introduction and things like that. This week, to kick it off, it's on my channel. And for the most part, it's just going to be me and Mooch going back and forth and taking calls and hitting on some topics that aren't covered with the other podcast. It's going to be different things, a little bit interesting things, some anecdotal things, stuff like that. And hopefully you guys will all enjoy it. And definitely, just a heads up, when you guys call in, because of a delay, most people, what you're going to have to do is call in. You're going to get on the air. If you have a question, ask the question, and then you're going to have to hang up. It's no disrespect to you guys, but there's going to be about an 8 to 10 second delay, and that just doesn't work out well for on live stuff. So basically what's going to happen is you leave. If you have a comment like, oh my God, Mooch, I'm a Mooch maniac, sign my bra, you know what I mean? If it's something like that, then basically what you're going to do is call in, say that, and then go. And,
if it's something like that, then just stay on the line, actually. No, what I was going to say. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Well, Crap, great introduction. Let me just welcome everybody. Listen, let me give you a little bit of Crap did a really great job of explaining what the show is. This show is going to come about, and I want to thank everybody for being here on day one. What you really are not beta testers, but you're actually here to see something kind of growing. We've got a lot of plans, but we didn't want to just keep here and fester and have meetings and not put this thing together. What we want to do is we want to get the audience involved, and we want you to be involved crisp and clear. Initially, what we're going to have to do, like Crap said, is we're going to be able to take your call. By all means, give your Twitter or your YouTube. We want to promote the audience. Let everybody know who you are, and then give your question. Eventually, once we get everything worked out, we will be able to keep you on the line. But today, the one thing about this show that I pitched to Crap, and then we kind of built it with Jay Williams, is we wanted to slow things down. Everybody gets up in the morning, you're making your cup of coffee, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're making breakfast for your kids. If you don't have kids, you're still getting your coffee for your hangover from last night at the club. Point of the matter is this. You want to tune in. You don't want to hear a bunch of people talking over each other. This is literally just me and Crap going back and forth, talking about not just weekly gaming news that you somewhat have heard about, but new topics you haven't heard about, and also just some great experiences that me and Crap have had, because a lot goes on in the YouTube and Twitter world that I think the audience is a little bit fascinated with. And you, the callers that you call, you're not just calling in with a question and you disappear. If you're repeat callers and you become big fans of the show, much like people who watch Howard Stern or your morning local radio show, you're going to get a cool nickname. You're going to be hanging out with us. You'll be part of the crew, So by all means, this is a laid-back, relaxed, grab a cup of coffee, and let's just talk, man. This is what it is. It's just to slow it down a little bit. Even though, as I said that Crap, I'm speaking at the speed of sound.
Oh, yeah, I know. Well,
that's just what I do.
Yeah, it's a little. Somebody asked in the chat if you would sign moobs too, which are man boobs, and
that absolutely not. But yeah. I do appreciate. Listen, that's what it's all about with crowd interaction. Okay, you ask whatever the hell you want, we'll answer it.
Yeah, like in the chat box, I'm hoping to be a little bit more interactive and keep an eye on this, since the producer Jay Williams is actually handling a lot of all the sound effects. So props to him for putting this together. He did the intro. You guys hopefully dug it with the music and the intro and things like that. I thought that was pretty cool. Not only that, but I thought that gave people were filtering in while that was going for the first couple of minutes. You know what I mean? Like we hit over 100 while that was going. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's why I'd like to already thank. You're going to hear a lot of this. This is about crowd participation, and we really do appreciate you guys joining in. Hopefully, this becomes a huge hit because, like I said, we do want to keep this going. I think this is going to be a lot of people are probably tuning in right now saying, "Well, what's the difference?" You're going to see the difference as the weeks progress. You're even going to see a little bit of it today, not only with just subtle intros, and we've made different attempts at getting sound effects and visuals. We're going to be doing in the future that me and Crap and Jay felt were needed in this kind of realm. But you're also going to get the key thing is to get the audience involved. So, like Crap said earlier, we're going to get started with the show. The Skype line is open. You will possibly be talking to Jay Williams at first, and then you'll be coming on. Again, remember, mention your Twitter name and your question or comment, and then we'll talk about it. Yeah. But you know, Crap, let's start with last night. I think I had I don't know if it's a rebirth or I got my head dipped in some holy water or what happened, but I had a really good time playing Overwatch last night. What'd you think?
Well, okay, so for anybody that isn't really aware, Saturday nights at 9:30 Eastern is game nights. GKB and She-Wolf, shout out to those guys. You know, they put that together, and so we were playing Overwatch, which is free this entire weekend, and so we hopped on there. That was really the first time that I've put any kind of significant time in the game. And again, it's fun when you're playing with other people, right? Yeah. Like that game mode where you push the car wasn't exactly my favorite. I more or less like the one where you're like the domination game mode. That was better in my opinion. But overall, I thought it was actually quite a fun game, if not generic a little bit. It just seemed like something that would be good to play with friends. But I'm not sure that it's a game that I would like to play by myself.
You know what happened last night, Crap, that I thought was interesting, and we got a good response from everybody in the chat yesterday, was I said to everybody was like, wow, Mooch, this is actually a really good game. I'm having fun. This is working out. This is better than I thought, based off of what you said. And I said, can I ask you a question? And 2 or 3 people said, well, what's up? And I said, did you pay for this game, or are you playing the free version? And they're like, no, I downloaded it free for this weekend. I'm trying it. And I said, that was kind of my other point. Point A was it's fun playing with friends, but point B that I've been making is that it's a free-to-play game. They should have made it a free-to-play game, and then when these new characters and maps came out, then it was DLC you had to purchase. $5 for a character or $10 for the new character and map that came out every 3 months. You know what I mean, Crap? I think some of the fun came from it being that it was free and we were playing with 12 people. Yeah, we all knew.
We were all on the same page except for that Tim dude, like Foxfire's friend. That dude was just like all over the place. I was like, man, that's a little bit unfair. That guy was like just straight up with the bow and arrow and and that little tire thing that explodes and things like that. I just thought that
he plays it nonstop, right?
Yeah, he bought the. Remember, you were asking that question, like, did you guys pay for this or
right.
It's like a free to play game. That's what you said, and he goes, well, I paid $80 for it. You know what I mean?
And I was thinking to myself, what did he pay $80 for, though?
Yeah.
I thought it was a $60 game. I don't know. Maybe he paid. Oh, you know what he did? I bet you he got a lot of the. There's a lot of those trinkets you can get with the game. So you open up different treasure packs and you get like spray paints. You get different skins and things like that. I think he probably paid for that deluxe edition.
Yeah, and not only that, but you know what? To me, that game does feel a bit like a free-to-play game because there's so many characters, but people usually stick to only a few anyway. Just imagine if they made that like a free-to-play game, but you paid $5 for the character that you want, then I would probably buy a couple characters and hop on there and play. So.
Well, that's it, and that's what kind of bummed me out because I did win it. Shout out to Doc Cupcake. I won it in one of his giveaways, and when I did that, like, that was great, but the problem is I asked a lot of people after yesterday, I'm like, are you guys going to buy this? And you guys were like, no.
Yeah. Well, I was a little bit bothered. You won that. I was like, damn it. I never win anything. I keep entering to win these things, and I never win any damn thing. And you won it. And what was it?
Speaking of never winning, though, you know which one I'm dying to win more than anything? Maybe it's for the publication, not even the product. I want to win Larry Herb's. Can I win one Free Code Friday? Just one?
Do you know how they even do that? Because I'm wondering if he just picks, you know what I mean, and he's like, well, that's that Crapgamer and Mooch guy. We can't give them anything. You know what I mean?
Well, that might be it. That might be exactly it. For the same reason people couldn't wait for M&C in the morning. Larry's like, oh, let's delete those 2 guys.
Yeah.
But I don't know. For some reason, I would like to see Overwatch go free to play, and I think that might happen because it's a Blizzard game and it's PC for the most part.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. It was fun.
the fact that they made it a free weekend or whatever probably tells me that maybe that people were losing interest, or maybe they didn't have, they didn't have the sales on the consoles that they originally expected. You know what I mean?
Our producer.
Hey, he's there. Hey, Jay.
Jay, are you here? I heard an umpire. I don't know. You're like, Jay's playing with our sound effects board. So if you hear a random rooster or an umpire screaming, you're not delirious, and no, you didn't put enough Kahlua in your coffee.
Well, what's funny is, I was saying I was a little bit nervous before we started the show because this was a new thing and it's not been done, and we wanted it to be a success, and it's something that we're probably going to have to build on and get people used to. I mean, the fact that we have over 200 watching right now is actually pretty surprising to me because it's a Sunday morning.
It's a Sunday morning, and to be honest with you, today's the first. What did we do? We really just tweeted out one picture a week ago, and then we started talking about it heavily yesterday at 9 a.m.
Yeah, and then we were like singing the theme song during game night all night, and I think that's where we get most of the crowd from.
Well, we've got a lot of ideas that you're good. Again, the audience, you're going to see a lot of these things implemented. We're going to ask some people in the community to help us with this. I think Crap was singing the theme song, which I hope to God he doesn't do today.
Yeah, Mooch and Crap.
There it is. And I got news for you. It sounded absolutely ridiculous. By the end of the game night last night, there was people that are just fans of game night, not even YouTubers, that were starting to sing it while we were in the lobby. They're like, damn it, it's in my head. I'm like, well, maybe we're on to something here, Crap. There's our producer.
Exactly.
This is great.
And what's funny is Jay, I think, because I was saying I was a little bit nervous, and Mooch, you were like, well, maybe I'm a little bit. And then Jay was like, I have to go to the bathroom real quick. And me and Mooch are just kind of joking pre-show. He was probably in there like throwing up or something because he's got a lot to do. So
JB being Canadian, I made a hockey reference. I said if this was his first NHL game, he would be throwing up in his helmet right now just before the show started.
Yeah.
But Jay's.
Again, I'm a little bit surprised that nobody's tried calling in yet. Jay, have we had any calls?
Yeah, do we got any calls? I know we do have calls. I'm hoping they're able to come through.
Yeah, there's nothing been coming through yet.
Okay, guys. So it's MC Mornings. Was it with a space or without, Jay?
No space.
No space.
No space.
Mornings.
Yeah. So we got it. If you guys want to call in, we're looking for the. It's just I'll type it on the chat box.
The contacts just exploded. Believe me.
Yeah, right. The minute we said it, here it comes. Oh, trust me, Crap. They know. I think the audience just didn't know. When we say it's always open, we really do want fan interaction. It doesn't mean we're going to pick up the phone every time if we're in the middle of a debate, but...
We have one coming in.
Let's take it. I can't wait to actually see. This is going to be great.
Our first caller is... I don't know how to pronounce his name properly. It is...
Hello.
Bob Sassan.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What do you have to ask Mooch and Crap?
I want to ask them what they think about Xbox in Germany. Well, because Germany is mostly a PlayStation country. I'm from Germany, and if you look at the marketing here, it's like not existent. From Xbox, we got the Xbox YouTube account just with 80,000 subs. It's like, nothing, and we don't get trailers in our language. We get almost nothing here in Germany, and this is basically why no one buys Xboxes here. And I want to ask Mooch about it.
Very cool. Well, I mean, I'll tell you this much, Jay, you might have to mute him because he's not going to hear us for about a 12-second delay. But, I'll tell you, let me answer your question. I apologize I don't have your name. I'll have someone type it so I can actually read it out loud. But, to answer your question about that is we definitely know that Germany is is a PlayStation nation, if you will, because we saw that thing, Crap, last week, didn't we, where the PlayStation Germany came out and made that comment to Aaron Greenberg about being disrespectful and unprofessional. So you are dealing with something where you're going against the grain out there in Germany, and being an Xbox fan, I think, is really hard out there, Crap.
Yeah. I just want to take a moment to reflect that our first M&C Mornings caller was from Germany. Let that sink in. From Germany.
That's awesome, by the way, and thank you for listening to the show, bro. That's awesome.
And we don't really know your name, so you're your Mooch Maniac German one.
Yes, he is, because I did catch at the end that he's like, I want Mooch to answer that.
Yeah, he's like, I want to screw Crapgamer. I want Mooch to answer. That's all good crap, but Mooch. That's really what we want.
Mooch, I want you to answer it, and that other guy in the purple shirt can say something later.
He can say something later. Like, don't you see who's in the front of the picture? It's Mooch. It's not Crap. Crap's more to the side there, which props to Jay Williams for making me look thinner. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, do we have another call?
Yes, we do.
Go ahead. Think about it.
Divian, Divian.
Divian, what's good, bro?
Hey there. I'm from London.
Nice. Cheerio. What's good, buddy?
Quite some time. I've been gaming since 1982, and I'm always listening to this podcast. Great job, guys. We need more guys like you out there telling the truth, basically, because the media very biased. You can see it with the PS I Love You shows and everything. They basically up on Asian. That's all they know, and they love the damn thing, and it's rubbish. It's all lies, and the PS4 Pro reveal was just lame. I'm waiting for Scorpio. I've got my box. I've had one for like 10 years. It's a great community, a great environment, and you guys are doing a great job, and I just thought I'd call in and say keep it going. You're doing well, Crap. You're awesome. Mooch, I love your analogies. I always ask you for the steak or the used car analogy. Always good. Wish we had someone representing in London more, and I'm sorry I've been talking for a lot. So thanks a lot for doing the work. And and what do you think of the PS4 Pro and how it will do against Scorpio and vice versa? Thanks.
Awesome, Divian. Thanks for calling in, bro.
The way he handled that was exactly how everybody should handle it.
That was perfect.
And I want to say that, like, this is exactly, like, I'm giddy. I'm like that schoolgirl right now. I'm, like, so giddy with how well this is working.
Yeah.
The way he did it, he came in, he gave his take, and he got out. Very, very, very awesome. Also, I want to say, our first two calls, Germany and London, that's phenomenal. And just real quick, well, I just want to say, I know we have another call, but I wanted to answer his question and say that
absolutely.
I think the PS4 Pro will do okay. I don't think it's going to light things up, but I think when Scorpio comes out, that's the end of the Pro.
Okay,
the other thing, well, Jay, hold on. Before we take another call, if you could hold on, I do want to give Divian the respect to answer his question. I mean, he did also say that, they don't have anybody over there in England that's really standing up for them on any kind of publication because the media across the board has been so biased. So I want to thank him for tuning in to us and giving us a shot and listening to our voices. And I do agree with Crap. The PS4 Pro is going to have some sort of legs probably from November of this year till maybe February. But the minute the hype train picks up on Scorpio, that Pro is dead on delivery, everybody. So unless you don't have a PlayStation, do you have a PlayStation 4? Or you just keep the one you have in your home. Save the $400, put it towards the Scorpio. Trust me.
Yeah, because you're probably going to get a Scorpio for that price.
Absolutely.
Because again, and I said this multiple times, which was, if Microsoft wanted to put out a 6 teraflop console for $600, they could have done that this year. The fact that they're waiting is to get a $400 6 teraflop console out next year. So I think that. Do we have any more calls, Jay?
Yeah. Here we go.
Let's rack them up. Rack up those calls.
Bring them in.
Hello, Ira. What do you have to say to Mooch and Crap?
Hello?
Hello.
What's good, man?
Hi. Loud and clear?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah, so I called GameStop the other week. Same week, the Xbox One, okay? And I said, and I also called a week prior to that, and I said, okay, so how much will you give me for my Xbox One? And they said, went to the computer, and then he's like, it was something like, we'll give you $70 for that now. I'm like, $70? Or, it was like 70 or 80. I was like, it was, you were giving out $130 a week or two ago.
Yeah, $150.
Like, yeah, we know, but that the Slim was announced, so so now we're not giving as much for your Xbox One. I was like, okay, fair enough. So I did the same method with the PlayStation. I called, I asked them about, okay, so how much will you take my PS4 for? And this is now, after the Pro and the Slim are announced. And they're still giving, 120 that region for the PlayStation. So, right. Their value system, they're really just.
Yeah, I think, Jay, I don't know if you want to ask him to wrap the question up.
You're cheap. Like, oh, yeah, we'll give you $80 for this, but the Sonys, they hold way more value. That's kind of the I got from that. And I just wanted to know if you guys, experienced anything like that or have anything to say likewise with that.
Yeah, I mean, Crap, if you don't mind, I'll take that one. Ira,
go ahead.
Just so that's why I was really, really adamant about getting the most value for your Xbox. Listen, I already had the Gears of War 4 Xbox One 2 terabyte ordered, okay? But the reason that I decided to go get the white 1 terabyte was not because I needed to have another Xbox One S in the house. I mean, that's kind of redundant. But at the same time, the reason I did it was because the value. They were offering $150 for my 3-year-old Xbox One day one. Now, that thing could have lasted me another 3 years, another 3 months, or another 3 hours. So I figured the value, and I mean, don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean that Ira, who just called in, you should always just listen to everything I say. I mean, I'm definitely biased on my own opinions, but I mean, yeah, we knew they were going to do this. The minute the offer could come off the table, we knew this was going to end up happening. Crap, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I went and made that move, and I got that $150. I put $150, a little over $150 out of pocket to get that 1 terabyte, and I know I'm going to get that back next year.
Yeah, you know what? I would suggest, like, if you have an old school Xbox One, you're not going to get anything for that from GameStop now. The best thing you could do if you really want the money is, like, maybe eBay it or Craigslist it or something along those lines, because I bet you could get probably a couple $100 for it that way. You know what I mean? And that's going to be half the cost. So, what do we got going on, Jay? Any more?
Call from Mason. You guys ready for another call?
Yeah, let's take another call, and then I also want to go down. Crap, you have some really interesting topics on gaming that I think the audience is going to want to hear.
Okay, here comes Mason.
What's up, Mason? How you doing, bro?
Mason, what's up, bro?
Hey, Mason, what do you have to say?
Yo, what's going on, you guys?
What's up, buddy?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Jay, you got to let him know that he can hear. We can hear him.
Yeah.
There's a 10-second delay.
No, okay. So, good morning, everybody. It's been a long time since I've seen you guys. So, I just wanted to get one thing off my chest. Okay, since this whole PS4 Pro stuff thing has been announced, I have been getting in so many debates and arguments with everybody with this HDR thing. And I was talking to you, GameWire, and I think someone else about it. I cannot believe the amount of people who don't know what HDR is. Like, okay, so HDR is only tied to 4K TV, correct?
Yes.
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 And the thing that's hilarious is when they said they were going to update all base PS4 models with HDR. At first, I was kind of like, all right, that's actually was a pretty cool thing. And then I was thinking, I'm like, wait a minute, wait. I'm like, why the fuck are they updating base model PS4s when base model PS4s can't do 4K? And then at first I was like, okay, well, maybe there's going to be HDR only 1080p TVs. There isn't. So I'm going on, I'm reading all these comments and all these tweets, and people are like, oh, just go out and buy a 1080p HDR TV. And I'm like, okay, that's not out there. There isn't. There won't ever be a 1080p TV that has HDR. And so it just goes to show how ill-informed people are in this gaming community right now. And I'm not trying to say everybody, or I'm not trying to call gamers dumb or anything, but a lot of these hashtag new age gamers were just arguing with me, like, like I had one guy really telling me the PS4, they're going to update, they're going to make a firmware for the base model PS4s to display true HDR. I'm like, you can't, it's impossible, it cannot be done. I mean, whatever HDR is on the base model PS4, whatever they do, either it won't be true, or it's going to be some kind of, what some people said it's going to be like maybe like an altered high gamma or extra brightness for TVs. But either way, it can't be done. And these people are literally they're not grasping the concept of how useless, that's my main point, how useless that update is on base PS4s. So,
I agree.
I just, man, like, oh my God, like, I was fucking so exhausted the whole week just arguing with certain people about it. And then, real quick, yesterday, I think it was on, of course, Polygon, which they were the last major outlet that I stopped following. And then, they're coming out with their fucking hypocrisy game articles.
Yep.
And how about Microsoft being mean? Okay, for one, go suck a D, because that shit has been going on the past years. And now it's kind of, well, some goon like tweeted back like maybe they should release this. Of course, the same old reason, sales numbers. And I replied back to him and I'm like, okay, they did. They released their sales numbers, during the conference. And I'm like, did that help out the gamers? And then this guy tried to, the guy tried to say, well, it doesn't help Microsoft releasing the tweets. And I'm like, are they not fact?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, and Jay, let them know that, because there's going to be a delay there, let them know that we're going to answer and address them. This is Mason Crap. I'll be honest with you.
It's Sinar. It's, what is it, Sinar on Twitter.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, that's him. That's
Hey, by the way, really good to talk to you, man. Me and you've been actually on. I didn't know that. I know Mason. Now that you say it, that makes perfect sense. I've been talking to Mason now for God, how long's it been? Probably 2 years on Twitter. So good to actually hear your voice.
He actually just followed me back because he unfollowed me for a long time, and then he's like, yeah, man. He's like, I've been keeping up because his wife still follows me or whatever. And
well, she's a huge. If I remember right now, I'm paraphrasing here. So Mason, if I say something wrong, I apologize. But I know his wife is a huge Xbox fan. And I think Mason was trying to walk the line for a while, but I think he's finally seeing this nonsense that's going on. And this, listen, I got news for you. Listen, everybody in the audience, you got to say more crap. Well, yeah, the neutrals. There's people out there that say, don't listen to Mooch, don't listen to Crap, don't listen to Zaire, don't watch these shows. Don't listen to those people. Like, they don't know. Like, the point of the matter is all we ever really talk about is generally just concise facts, and then we throw our opinion on top, which, don't get me wrong, the opinions are definitely comical, okay? Yeah. Take that with a grain of salt. But I mean, you are here for some entertainment. If we were just sitting here reading verbatim bullet points, you'd be like, and quit. You know what I mean? So,
Exactly. Well, the interesting thing is like the whole neutrals thing, and just, I think as far as the Xbox community goes, we are in a good spot because Microsoft is listening to us, and everybody can see that. And we started that whole Scorpio symbol thing. You know what I mean? And this is
shout out to Slap Happy. Give credit where credit's due.
Yes, I believe it was Slap Happy. Yep. And then I think She-Wolf was like the second one or something like that. And then Tim Dog, and then it kind of spiraled on from there. And that became so popular that everybody was putting the Scorpio symbol on their Twitter name. And then Microsoft started giving out pins with the Scorpio to like the big hardcore fans and things like that. And because we have that interaction with these guys, right? Look, Mikey Barra himself came on Crossfire Podcast, and I even joked around with him and asked him if he was a Scorpio.
That was great. Yeah, that was great because he was talking and Mike was in a flow, and then out of nowhere he was like, he's like, I can't really.
Yeah, so I mean we all got behind that, and I thought that was really cool. And then the fact that the Sony fans have you heard about that? They've sort of adopted that as well, right? And to me, it just cries desperation, right? Like, look, had Sony fans started that first, then it would seem, that way, the same way to me, right? But the fact that Xbox fans started this, and now Sony fans are putting like the P for Pro in their names, and at the end of the day, they're not going to get a P.
No.
Thing, a thing from anybody at Sony. Like, Sony's not going to acknowledge the P.
Well, here's the thing, though, Crap. Can I just say something about the P? Okay, the P that they're doing. This is now the Sony fans doing exactly what the Sony corporation's been doing for years. Here's the Sony fans mimicking what we do. Again, trying to get the attention of their corporation. We did this not to try to get Phil and Aaron. I was completely taken back and amazed when I saw Aaron Greenberg had the Scorpio symbol all through his Twitter-like description. I was like, holy shit, that's impressive.
What is that?
Who's that? Is that Jay, the producer?
Okay, so what's up?
I think that was Jay doing a sound effect.
It's She-Wolf.
Oh, it is She-Wolf. She-Wolf calling in. What's up? Jay, you got to let her know that she's live.
Yeah, I can hear it. Mooch and Crap! Oh my god! Oh yeah, I'm the first YouTuber calling him.
That was great. That was great. Our first groupie, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. It was great. Thanks, you.
I said I was gonna do it.
You did. You did. I appreciate it. I really do.
Somebody.
I'm laughing. Yeah. Okay. So, quick question for you guys.
Okay.
Okay. So this has to go to Mooch, obviously. What do you think about Mario coming to iPhone?
Okay, well, let me answer that question, She-Wolf. Let's start by calling it Mario. Not Mario. All Italians are offended across the globe right now. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, I'm not going to. Watch you guys later.
Thanks, She-Wolf. Honestly, Crap, that was on your list as well, and I'll tell you something. I am very excited about that. I know that you're not an iPhone user. This is just another thing that you say, and I remember Crap's first thing when he saw Mario get on the iPhone with that Mario run that's coming. He said something along the lines of, "Why is it always a running feature?" Here's the thing about it: Flappy Bird, which was that bird, and then the background mimicked what was the Mario Brothers, pipes, etc. background, was a constant movement, and then you just impacted the one player. This has got a lot more mechanics to it, so there's more than just pressing a button. It's actually tapping the screen longer, gives you a double jump, using items, holds items, throws shells. There's a lot to it. Yes, there's a skill set involved, people, but you're going to see a lot of people playing this on transit, and I know, Crap, we don't like portable, but if I got to play portable, I want to play Mario.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, you know what, did you see that Nintendo's stock went up 26%. I know everybody was talking about Sony that day. Their stock went down after the PS4 Pro announcement. Nintendo's stock went up 26%. So a lot of people that are like, that think Nintendo's dead if the NX fails or whatever, look, they've got a ton of great IP. They've got a ton of options. Just look at that Pokemon Go stuff, and now they're saying this thing could be downloaded 1 billion times on iPhones.
Yeah, well, I think you're gonna see record-breaking numbers the minute they say that launches. And when did they say? Later this year, right, Crap?
Yeah, later this year.
I got news for you. Ready? Sucker number one. I'm buying it. I'm gonna put it on my iPhone. Why would I not? Would I rather play Mario or Kingdom Crush? I'm getting tired of playing Falling Fruit in the line. It's about time there's something mobile that is something that's like comforting to our eyes, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so as well. So I agree. I think this is going to be huge for Nintendo, and I always thought it was funny that Sony got all the press really, but Nintendo was the one that really, in my opinion, were the ones that made something from the day because it's one of those situations where they're actually going to make money off of these things, and I think that a lot of people just don't give them enough credit. And I think that obviously this is a big move for them. I'm kind of happy because in a way they're not putting traditional Nintendo games on there, so it's not like their platforms are really suffering.
Right.
They're just putting their IP on there on phone games where it makes sense. So it's not like they're shoehorning Mario Brothers 3 on the iPhone. You know what I mean? This is like an infinite runner. It works well on those phones, and I think that that's going to be. It's gonna work out well for them. I can only see this doing good things for them. So even though I'm not an iPhone guy, I thought it was cool that Miyamoto was there at an iPhone event.
Let's call a spade here. When you're talking about Apple gets to do something that Microsoft can't do. Microsoft and Apple are both very, very powerful, very wealthy companies. There's no surprise there. But because Microsoft is technically in the console business, Nintendo and Microsoft are competitors. Apple is kind of looked at as for both. For Nintendo, hey, we can make extra money with Apple. You know what I mean? They're not a competitor. Just because they have Candy Crush selling at a rapid rate on their devices, that doesn't threaten Nintendo.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think that Nintendo are kind of being very smart about this, and I think that it'll be interesting to see how it plays out when this thing releases later on this year. I know a lot of people were actually pretty damn excited for it, so I think that that's pretty awesome. Hey, and props to all the callers that we've had so far. You guys have been really cool.
You guys want to take his call?
Absolutely, yeah. Let Xbot in.
Xbot, are you there?
Yeah, what's up, Jay?
There he is, crystal clear.
What's up, Xbot? Tell him to give his take and get the hell out.
Yeah, Jay, you're our voice. You got to let him know he's live and he can talk.
Oh, he just vanished. Let's try that again.
That's all right.
Where'd you go, Xbot 488?
488 or 844. You know, I'll be honest with you. I keep watching. Shout out to Mel and to Xbot. Next podcast yesterday was fantastically done, by the way. I watched it last night. Really, really well done. I watched it. I didn't get a chance to watch it live, but it was done very, very well, and I really enjoy that. That channel has grown leaps and bounds, crap.
Yeah, like he's doing very well with that. I like the way that they've got it set up with the gameplay and.
How you doing, bro?
There he is, Xbot. What's up? Let Xbot know he's live and he can speak now because he can't hear us for a delay.
Nice.
What's up, Xbot?
You want to ask Mooch and Crap?
I did have two questions, but if I only have to pick one, it's going to be about considering Forza Horizon 3 as a Game of the Year contender, even though racing games don't usually get considered. But with all the features that Forza Horizon 3 is showing, do you think it will be considered a Game of the Year contender?
Well, yeah, you know, this is the funny thing, right? I had Forza Horizon 2 in my Game of the Year contender list back when that released. I thought that was such a strong game. I believe I gave that a perfect score, which I don't really do very often. I think there's 2 games that I've ever done that to, and so Forza Horizon 2 was one of them because for me that game was just like that moment where you're just like in awe. You know, from the minute I put it in, I love it. You know, the Forza Horizon series has long been my favorite since the original. The original one still holds up. I see people playing the original all the time because it's on backwards compatibility now, and people are just now, like a lot of people just got into it on the second one, not realizing that the first one was really even better and like just phenomenal. So I think that it should be in Game of the Year contention, but knowing the way the media and stuff is like that, I don't think that it would get the respect it deserves. Hell, if I doubt, remember when Rocket League came out and Forza 6? I mean, Forza 6 is a phenomenal game in and of itself, and lost out to Rocket League. So yeah, I don't know that it would get the respect that it deserves, in my opinion.
Well, let me answer the question too. To be honest with you, you taught me this crap. Forza games, whether we're talking Horizon or we're talking Motorsport, those are the gifts that keep on giving all year long. So you
Jelly of the Month.
Absolutely, Jelly of the Month Club. But my whole point is just that you can get a Forza game, and a year later, it's still being played by a community that engulfs the game and loves everybody that joins. You're never too late to a Forza community. So my point being is it may not ever win quote-unquote Game of the Year. I mean, let's be honest. IGN in 2012 had Journey as Game of the Year. I mean, how do you even – what are you supposed to model a game to replicate a floating scarf that you just press forward and you win the game for 2 hours? Yeah. So, I mean, you know, that's what IGN has Game of the Year when you've got people sweat, blood, and tears putting out Forza games. So I don't think we'll ever see that win Game of the Year, but it certainly is like, you know, game longevity of the year. That's for damn sure.
Oh, those games last for a long time because not a lot of people buy both Horizon and Motorsport, right? So
ready for Brandon?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Just tell them to get in and start talking. They're live.
Just let him know. He's live now.
Live with Mooch and Crap. What do you have to say?
Hello?
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 Hello? Sir, you're live.
Let him know he's live, Jay.
Graphic God, Crap Gamer, the Mooch. Good to talk to y'all.
Got you, bro.
Last night I was all on community game night playing. Bam, bam. Basically, I got a question for all of y'all.
Nice.
When did all of y'all start gaming? What was your first system that y'all played?
Go ahead, Crap. You got it.
Okay. Yeah, man. My first.
Love the great work. Y'all take care. Peace.
All right, man. Later.
Thanks, Bam.
Yeah. So basically, NES was mine. You know what I mean? That was like when I first started like gaming, like a lot. But the first game that I really played was Defender on Atari 2600, and that kind of was like, you know, a lot of fun for me. And so, you know, I've been gaming for something like 27, 28 years now. So, what about you, Mooch?
Well, I mean, similar story. I mean, just because I did start playing on ColecoVision and Atari, that does not mean that I was 10 years old when Coleco came out. I mean, I was Coleco was on its way out when I actually got introduced to it as like a 5-year-old. So I mean, I would say that the basis of when I started was definitely on the NES. I mean, all you guys are huge like Sega fans, and I had a Sega Genesis and I played all the Sega games. But I'm a Nintendo guy. Like, I hate to say it, like, that's just the way I grew. And the same thing in the console wars that exist today, I was defending Nintendo against the Sega kids. You know, it was the same thing. It just so happens as I got older, it seems like by going the Microsoft way versus Sony, as you know, in the early 2000s, I left the Nintendo people and went to the Sega, because Sega kids looked like they all went Xbox. So. Yeah, but I mean, my first games, my God, I mean, I hate to be so generic. Let's be generic. It was the original Mario Brothers. You know, it was Zelda. It was games as like Ghosts and Goblins. But my first games, you want to go back, games that I like really lost my mind on that ridiculous looking controller on Coleco was Zaxxon. You know, I played the crap out of that. Donkey Kong. Just all sorts of different games that, like, I still have Rob the Robot. I still have the Zapper. You can't even use the Zapper anymore on Duck Hunt crap.
Yeah,
because flat screens, right?
They only work on CRT TVs. So yeah, you're kind of SOL on that. But yeah, Duck Hunt was a lot of fun. I remember that game, and you know why that game was fun? Because it kept going. You know what I mean? I think there's like over 100 levels or something on that game.
Yeah, I mean, you know, to me that was a game that like it put console gaming into another category. People were like, wow, I can actually shoot at my screen. You can only do that at like that old Western game that was in arcades back in the 80s, and now you can do it at home, and it was pretty damn good. I gotta say, I mean, it was pretty accurate.
Boy, you got to use your hands.
Right. It's a baby. Back to the Future, nice.
Yes. Well, no,
Right.
see, we're almost like similar in age, so we both know.
Yes.
You know.
Well, you know, surprisingly, I think our audience is actually older. I really do. I don't mean older like, you know, 50s, 60s, but I mean, I think our audience is definitely like 25 to 45.
Yeah, our power alley, and then our female audience, which is like 0.1%. You know, I think.
Speak for yourself. My analytics say 2%, so I got a lot of European chicks. Yeah.
Oh, okay, like hairy armpits and stuff.
They like the Italian. You know.
Yeah. Well, like me too. I am.
So.
You know.
But Jay, you got another caller? Let's bring another caller, and then we're gonna hit another subject up.
When I get to answer the question.
Oh, you want to answer the question?
Oh, Jay, go ahead. Well, the producer wants to steal the show. Go ahead.
It's not just you two. You guys are being selfish.
We are.
We are. We're very selfish.
Absolutely.
The producer, go ahead and get Slady with it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just wanted to give a little bit of my video game history. My dad brought home a Pong box. I believe it was probably late 70s that came with a light gun where you shot the dots on the screen and you played Pong in like 14 different variations. So that was kind of what got me hooked into video games. And then, of course, Atari. You know, I played Defender until I rolled it over. And Donkey Kong and Safari Hunt and all those crazy games. And then, of course, moved on to Sega Master System, which is still one of the best systems ever. If you want to play a really good Wonder Boy game, Wonder Boy Monster World is still amazing on the Master System. And like Mooch said, you know, I was a Sega boy. I went up through the ranks. I got my Genesis. I got my Dreamcast. I didn't go to Saturn just because it wasn't something I was interested in. I was into PC gaming at the time. But then when Dreamcast came out, Dreamcast was superior to what PC gaming was at the time. And I went to Dreamcast and then Xbox, and the rest is history.
Awesome. Nice to hear, Jay. Like Jay's long time. Did you see everybody in the chat box was typing their age, and you were right, Mooch.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part. I mean, I'm sure we got a couple of youngins here and there, you know, like 19, 20, 21. But, I mean, for the most part, the people that interact with me on Twitter, I mean, you can just tell by vocabulary. And that's not, you know, unless you're Doogie Howser, MD, you know, most people that are using the terminology and the way that they write, you can tell that they're very well educated for the most part, and they're older. That's just the way it is. And when I say older, come on, let's be honest. Times are changing, people. Stop with the you're in your 30s, you can't game. Like, let's be honest. When you have 2 kids and you work all day, and you come home and you get done mowing your lawn, anybody that says, you play games, be like, what is it that you do in the evening that's so much better? What, you watch The Voice at 8 p.m. on it? Like, does that make you cooler than me, that you know that you're watching Christina Aguilera pick a person that's not even going to get a record deal?
You know how I explain it to people? I'm like, you know what? A lot of people do hobby like bowling leagues. I don't want to bowl. You know what I mean? Like gaming is much more fun to me. You know, it's more competitive. I like competitive stuff, and gaming, multiplayer stuff is way more competitive than bowling or softball or any of that stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, how about I'll take it even a step further, Crap. Gaming's just really, really social now. I mean, did you see last night?
Yeah.
My wife actually came over twice, and she was like, "You got to keep it down." It's like, I mean, there was a party going on. There's people laughing, having a good time, and yet we're still doing hand-eye coordination. We're not just sitting there like vegetables on a couch, sitting there staring at the voice. So, I mean, I don't know. For me personally, I think gaming's come a long way, and I don't think anybody should ever put an age on it.
Jay says we have another call. He says it's GKB. Get him in
nice.
here.
Yeah,
get him
GKB
in
here.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's GKV. I just wanted to say, a great show, guys. What do you guys think ReCore is going to get a fair review from the review? Going to do bad? What are your guys' takes on that? And what do you guys think of Titanfall to Xbox getting the marketing rights? Thanks, guys. Great show. I'll see you later.
Nice. GKB, by the way, again, doing it just right. Come on, speak clearly, ask your question. And we appreciate it. Like I said, we are working on.
How to kiss ass. That's what I'm gonna say. Like that's.
GKB is pimp. He knows what he's doing.
He went in, asked his questions, got the hell out. And no disrespect, but due to the delay, there's like a 10-second delay. It would just be 10 seconds of dead air waiting for you to hear what we say, and then talking over us because you wouldn't know. So yeah, that's how you guys have to do it. Perfect example of how to handle that. And first of all, I've heard good things about ReCore. I'm not gonna say who, but I've heard.
I can't say who either, Crap. Go ahead.
I'm not allowed to say who, but I've heard it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility to see a lot of 8s and 9s for this game. Apparently, a lot of people were saying, and this is actually very organically goes into a topic that we were going to cover, which was ReCore. The loading times were reported as being very high and a problem, but apparently that's not an issue because I guess there was an update or something like that. See, what happens when street dates get broken with games, you don't get the update, the day one update or whatever. So I guess there's not really loading problem issues or anything like that. So I would expect this game to get very high 8s and 9s. I'm expecting it to be a very pleasant surprise, and it's going to get a lot of good word of mouth to people and things like that. Now, as for the Titanfall thing, that came as a surprise. I think that Microsoft. I bet that Respawn saw everybody canceling pre-orders on Xbox, and they went to Microsoft and was like, "Hey, we'll give you marketing rights for a song," and that's how that kind of worked out. But what are your thoughts, Mooch?
Well, I'm gonna start with what we were talking about a minute ago. I have a person that I'm very good friends with. He is not an Xbox fanboy at all. He got a hold of me. He said, "Just want you to know." He sent like 50 thumbs up playing ReCore. Here's the thing. I think ReCore is going to be what Microsoft wants it to be, and that may be a permanent part of their portfolio. It's a lovable female character, right, with a great backstory, basically very similar to Lara's, right, where something happened. I don't know, but something happened to her father and this and that. It's a story that a lot of the masses can kind of sink their teeth in and be like, this is something I want to like get wrapped up in, and what's going on in this world. So I think that the game is going to do very well. Crap saying 8s and 9s. I'm right there with you personally, but then the minute I say that, I'm like, oh, that's right, the world hates Microsoft. So let me just say that I think we're probably talking, if this thing gets anywhere, my Metacritic score is 84, and that's me also factoring in the bias that's going to hate. I think you're going to see a lot of...
I'm thinking 80 for it, just because I think that... Okay. I think it's going to get some 9s, but I think it's going to get some 6s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're going to see 6.8, 6.9, 7.1s, things like that. And those are from the people that just don't want Microsoft to do well. Or we're going to get 2 out of 5 stars from Giant Bomb. Yeah. Because the guy who hates third-person shooters is probably reviewing it as we speak.
Well, apparently there's a few frame rate issues right now. I mean, obviously it can be patched, but I just want to point out that Bloodborne got phenomenal scores, but it had terrible frame rate.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's a Sony product, so
yeah.
90. Yeah.
So you'll see people probably mention the frame rate a bit, you know what I mean? But I think that overall for $40, a new IP, it's hard to really go wrong on this. I'll have my copy Tuesday morning.
Yeah, me too.
Or Tuesday afternoon because I ordered it from the Microsoft store. And the reason I do that, in case you guys don't know, I buy I game share. So now my brother and I, Hammer. We split the cost on multiplayer games. So if, like Call of Duty, we both are half in. Battlefield 1, both half in. But exclusives, I'm kind of I buy them physically. So
yeah, let me answer part 2 of GKB's question though with Titanfall. So when I saw Titanfall crap, I got excited and then it's like a roller coaster ride. It was the anticipation and then just dropped immediately. So here's the thing: am I glad they did it? Yes, because I like Titanfall to always be a household name in the Xbox community. Maybe if Titanfall 3 becomes a thing, Vince will see where he made his mistakes, not only technically with the game, but how he made his mistakes socially in social media and representation. Respawn made a lot of mistakes, and I'm not necessarily ready to forgive yet. But my point is this: what I would like to say is I do hope Titanfall 2 does okay enough to get to a 3, but I hope 3 comes back to what 1 was, bring it back to its roots, get the cloud computing going again. But let me answer the question I want to pose to the audience here is, I'm hoping by Microsoft getting the rights, and Microsoft being very close with EA on EA Access, of course, I'm hoping that we get one of the two. I don't think we're going to get early access and the 10% off, but I think Microsoft will eat one of them, so Respawn doesn't have to eat it. I think we're going to get the early access. I do. I think, and you're probably going, Mooch, no, EA's already come out and said they're not going to do it. Yeah, EA said that because right now they're still talking about it. So right now they don't want to. They can't give false hope. So Microsoft could very easily come to the table and say, listen, give our players the 10-hour free play like we always do, and the 10% off. We'll run discounts. We'll run discounts on our end later. So my point being is, I do think with Microsoft getting the deal, you're going to see something transpire from the EA Access side of things.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100% with that. I think that hey, it's a pleasant surprise. You know what I mean? I think that people. I remember like Twitter was blowing up. They're like, oh my gosh, Microsoft has marketing deals. Hey, shout out to the almost 400 people.
Wow.
Watching on a
thank
Sunday
you.
morning. Like,
Sunday morning, what a great idea! That I'm glad that you guys are enjoying our idea because this is what I'm saying. We actually get to sit back, relax. You get to sit back with your cup of coffee. Maybe some of you are gaming right now, and you're like, "This is great. This is the only time I get to game." The kids are either still asleep if you're on the West Coast, or the kids are out doing something, and you get to enjoy a little bit of time where you can have the screen snapped if you're on Xbox, listening to the podcast and playing. I thought it was a good idea. Crap thought it was a good idea. Jay did. And like I say, this is a work in progress, Crap. We got a lot of stuff that we still have to implement. We just didn't want to wait. We wanted the show to get on the road.
Yeah, and not only that, but is that a phone call, Jay?
I think what She-Wolf was telling me on Twitter was that Jay's muting his mic to talk to people on the phone. That's where you're hearing that Jay, you can stay unmuted so we can hear your interaction with the phone, just so people know that you can.
Just chime in and be like, hey, do you guys want to take this call? And we'll be like, sure, let's take a call.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, like I think that's cool. Plus, guys, don't worry. I know it's NFL season, right? It's kickoff today.
Absolutely.
But we're gonna be out. We're gonna be done, and plenty of time for you guys to catch like the good kickoff shows, and plenty of time for the kickoff.
Yeah, we're NFL fans too, as you can tell. Crap wearing a Baltimore Ravens T-shirt on.
Yes.
On his, but, I mean, I'm a New York Giants fan. If you don't know that, you will know in the next 16 weeks.
You were having a go with a Cowboy fan yesterday about.
That was Predator. I think that was Predator.
Dak Prescott or whatever. That guy's gonna get tore up.
I think Dak Prescott's gonna find out what that turf Jerry Jones just bought looks like real up close and personal.
I mean, think about it, right? Like you do good in preseason, right? But you're playing against a lot of backups and like third string and people just trying to make the team. And then, they're not game planning. They absolutely do no game planning whatsoever in preseason.
I got to say real quick, Assassin's in the chat, and Assassin's hearing us talking about, he goes, ew, sports.
Oh, hey, we did a good, Assassin, we did a good joke, and don't take offense to this, but here, do the Assassin impersonation, Mooch.
Oh, I can't even do it as good as you did. You nailed it. Maybe I could follow yours. I can't do it.
Knock, knock.
He's like, who's there?
Titanfall 2.
Oh, that's right. Titanfall 2 who?
Titanfall 2 is better than Titanfall 1. That's the joke.
That's right. Assassin. Shout out to Assassin from Four Guys Records. Assassin's awesome. We love his Twitter antics. He's hysterical. If you don't follow Assassin, make sure you do on Twitter, bro. He's hysterical. Assassin, actually, put your Twitter in the chat so people can follow you.
Hey Jay, are you saying something?
Yeah, I was trying to tell you guys that Darius Graves is calling in if you want to talk to him.
Yeah, put him on. Hopefully he knows the deal.
Hey, Darius, you're live with Mooch and Crap.
Hey, what fellas?
What's up?
What's up,
your
fellas?
question?
Hey, what's
Apparently, Darius is calling us from.
yeah, where's he
BFE.
coming from?
Not quite sure where he's
First
from.
off, Crap Mooch, thank you for doing this for regular guys. It's appreciated, but I got a question. Obviously, all of the preview or like reviews, GameSpot is all the PS4 version, and for the next year it's going to be the Pro version. They're all going to show and everything like that. Do you think after the Scorpio comes out, they're going to start reviewing stuff on the Scorpio or more gameplay from the Scorpio version and not the PlayStation version?
That's a great question. Thank you, Darius. And I know who you are from Twitter. Thank you.
Yeah, that is a great question. And then good job, Jay. Like when he asked, just like kind of let him go. No disrespect, but I mean, it'll just get all over top of each other. But basically, this is what's going to happen, right? The PS4 Pro version of games is the same as the PS4 and the Xbox One version. They're just putting the up-res and things like that. Same character model, same everything. Scorpio, per Phil Spencer, is going to use the Windows versions of games, like the better textures, the better everything, right? So it's not just going to be, an up-res of something. So that's going to be a huge difference, and I think that that's going to be the superior version because they're going to make, and I think it's going to help developers flock to the Scorpio because they're going to be able to do so much with it. You're going to get Scorpio version, PC version, you know what I mean? They're going to go hand in hand.
Absolutely.
They're going to love to do this, right? They're going to get more money this way.
No, I agree, but I do think Crap. And if you did address it, I apologize. I'm actually typing to somebody right now. But did you mention that? I think once Scorpio comes out, not only are your graphical and technical comments correct, but eventually Scorpio will be the lead platform, and I think that's what Darius was kind of alluding to. Is when will we start to see when they're doing Let's Plays and things like that when they have an Xbox controller in their hand? I think that the devs are all going to turn to work a little bit more with Scorpio once that becomes the mainstream. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think that this is a situation where developers are going to be 100% on board, and I think that it's going to take some of that, it's going to take a good sales bump. You know what I mean? Like I think that right now Sony has kind of some developers by the balls, but I think that that's about to change.
I totally agree. Do we have another call?
We just had a few more. I'm just going to wait for one to pop back in, and I'll let you know. I don't like to interrupt you guys when you're on a little bit of spiel, but we've got Giuseppe Mazzola coming in.
Nice. Follow Paisano. What's up, buddy?
Hello, Giuseppe. You're live with Mooch and Crap.
Hey, what's up, guys? Just want to let you guys know, do you think, when the Scorpio's out, do you think that they will use a Zen processor over a Jaguar processor?
I've heard that they're using Zen technology, and it's going to have 12 gigs of memory. So I don't think they're not going to be bottleneck. If you look at the bottleneck from the PS4 and Mooch, who said it all along that Jaguar would bottleneck them?
You said it day one, especially when you had those numbers, the confirmed sheets in your hand.
Yeah, so I said, look, it sounds like a lot, and it is a powerful machine. Don't be twisting what I'm saying. The PS4 Pro is a powerful machine, but the fact that they are using that same Jaguar CPU, which was terrible, and it's just overclocked. So I think that that's going to really hurt it. And then you look at Mass Effect Andromeda, 30 frames per second on the Pro, 30 frames per second on Xbox One, 30 frames per second on the PS4 standard vanilla.
Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn struggling to get 26 frames per second on the Pro. So it's definitely a bottleneck. Scorpio's not going to have that bottleneck. It's going to be the most powerful console ever, and Microsoft is waiting, obviously. Like I said, they could have done a $500-600 6 teraflop machine this year if they wanted to. You know what I mean?
Right.
But, yeah.
Well, Crap, you said it a number of times. Let me address Giuseppe real quick. Here's the thing, to be honest with you. Microsoft came out on stage a year and a half, for all practical purposes, and started talking specs. we know that this is not the Microsoft of old anymore. So they said 6 T-flops. They said this and that. We know crap almost for a fact that what Phil Spencer said on stage is not what we're going to get. We're actually going to get more in the box than the 6 T-flops. People are saying 6.6, 6.7 T-flops, which is close to 7. And then you're also talking about possibly getting that Zen is definitely going to be en route, and there's 12 gig of RAM.
Yeah,
And that's what changes the game, right? That's what changes the
it would make no sense to use the same Jaguar CPU. You know what I mean? The problem is there's not a lot of them out that were cheap enough until next year, and so I think that's one of the main reasons why Microsoft is waiting.
Well, Red Dragon just did a video. Shout out to Red Dragon. Always keep in touch with him. Guy's great for info of news. He's not. People think he's biased. He's not in either direction. He just reports what's coming out. And he said that he said the same thing we're just saying right now. He says, "Why would I buy a Pro?" He's like, "I watched the Horizon video they have for their game coming out in February, and he's like, the game was chugging and trying to keep a Pro mode at 30 frames per second. It was struggling at 30 frames per second. Why would you go put $400 down on a system that's not an upgrade to what you have right now?"
Yeah.
I mean,
agree.
It's
ridiculous, yeah. And look, we actually did manage to hit over 400. Go ahead, Jay. Do we have a call?
Michael Walsh is calling in.
Okay.
What's up, Mike?
What's up, Mike? What's your question? Michael?
Hey, you're live with Mooch and Crap.
Hello, I'm Mr. Zombie Killer, and I have a huge question.
Nice.
Halo has anniversaries since the first one and the second one. And with 2017 upon us, will we see Halo 3 anniversary?
I'm going to let Crap take that one.
Oh, good question. I know Xbot 489,000 is going to be like, yes, Halo 3 anniversary. Look, I actually think we will see a Halo 3 anniversary, and the reason why is because Microsoft is going to want native 4K games running on Scorpio at launch, right? Just like, remember how it's kind of a big deal, I guess, that people are saying like The Last of Us apparently is going to get a bump to native 4K. You know, it's it's a PS3 game, so you would figure that it would be able to do a native 4K, right? So Microsoft is going to probably do the same. The first 4K Halo game, I can imagine Halo 3 anniversary running 4K, 60 frames per second, holiday 2017, launch with Scorpio, maybe even with the console. You know what I mean? Imagine that, like launching with the console as like a pack-in or something like that at 4K, 60 frames per second. That's a game changer in my opinion. That sells that thing. People love Halo 3. So I think that would be phenomenal. And the difference between that, I know people are like, well, you can get it in the Master Chief Collection, but people like Halo 3 specifically. So bring back Halo 3 with all the multiplayer components of Halo 3, all that stuff. You know what I mean? Just fix it up. Put a coat of paint on it to where it's 4K native, 60 frames, game changer in my opinion.
You know, that's a good point, right, Crap? It's not a lot of work for either 343 or Bluepoint, whoever they hire to do it, to get this thing up to 4K 60, right? That would be nuts. I mean, it's not a lot of money out of pocket for Microsoft either, and it's a huge fan service. I think it's awesome. I mean, as far as it coming out, do I think it's going to come out? I'm going to be the negative side of the coin. I don't think so. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm sure 343 is heavily invested in making sure Halo 6 has to beat the campaign, has to beat the crap out of 5, and the multiplayer has to be just as good, if not better. And that's hard to do when you've already got probably, arguably, right, Halo 5, the best multiplayer Halo. It trumped Halo 2. You know, arguably the best Halo multiplayer has to be beat. That's hard when you say to somebody, hey, I'm glad you really broke the threshold that nobody could ever break. We need you to break that again. And they're like, I mean, you want to talk about taking the sales out of a company. It's hard.
Yeah. Hey, Jay, did you say we have another call?
Yeah, Xbot keeps calling in, and I don't want to interrupt you guys in your little spiel, so I don't actually accept the call right away, but he'll call back in a moment.
Okay.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Xbot, he's the first Mooch and Crap mark. That's what it is. The Mooch and Crap marks. You guys, he's the Mooch and Crap mark, and
absolutely.
And we love it. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. And actually, I think I'm really like giddy as hell. I think this has really been a really fun show, a really good experiment. And to be honest with you, I was like, man. You know, I was like, I doubt we get 150 viewers concurrently because it's early and, you know, it's Sunday morning. You get people are getting ready for football and church and all this stuff. And I was like, man, I doubt we get very many, but here you
well,
guys
crap,
are.
First of all, we're at 410. You can actually see the actual numbers. Here's my point. Listen, unfortunately, and I'm Roman Catholic, right? I'm Italian, but nobody goes to church anymore, crap. So apparently we've taken over. So everybody, please open your sermons up to page 14 for Mooch and Crap as we sing Hallelujah to Xbox. But yeah, we're gonna have a lot of. You guys are great. Everybody's great right now. This is fantastic. This is working out way better than I even imagined. And you guys are really in for a treat. Every week you'll see something new coming to the show that actually brings the viewer involved. So
I love the fan interaction. Like that to me has been. And plus, people will get more used to like just coming in, state your name, ask your question, or say your comment, and then get out. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, absolutely. Like I said, as we perfect things and we get new software going with Jay, the producer, and getting things rolling, we're definitely going to be able to get you guys in here and then interact with you more and more. Just right now, to get the show on the road, this is working out great.
Yeah, and just a quick reminder, now that we got like 400 plus watching, this show is going to alternate between my channel and then Mooch's channel. So next Sunday will be on Mooch's channel, and then it goes back and forth and things like that. So
that's right. Yeah, we'll be alternating. Worked really well when we did that 6-7 months ago with BGST. We'll be doing that again on this one. So next week, and you'll know, we'll be advertising it through the week on which channel.
Zombie took my first question, but I do have a second one. Pertains to ReCore and supporting ReCore. Now, I like ReCore. I want ReCore to definitely be supported. But with a lot of people out there, they're trying to tell people that don't even like platformers and stuff like that they should still buy this game because they themselves want more types of these types of games on their system. Now, do you think that's fair, or do you think there's other ways that people can support ReCore as well?
His question is a little weird. So
yeah, I mean, I'm not sure I understood it either. What I picked from it was how can we get the word out more? Or how can we? I don't know. Jay? How did you take it? Because maybe he came in mid-sentence.
Yeah, he was coming in. He had a couple of different thoughts in his head, and I don't know if they were going to
Xbot. Think it through. Calm down. I know me and Mooch are like big YouTube stars and everything, but
yeah, right.
Take a deep breath, and then just think.
I want to make a shout out to Sinar at Sinar212 Mason, who called earlier. He just followed me, so I've been following you for a while, buddy. I always appreciate your intake, your in-depth views on gaming and things like that. And hopefully we actually get maybe Sinar and his wife will join GKB and She-Wolf and all of us on game night one night. It'd be cool to hear them.
Yeah, he actually DM'd me. He wanted to like hop in, and I'm like, well, this is our first show. We're not doing any guests in the thing. Like, no disrespect to anybody, but the phone interaction and stuff, we might once in a while have a guest, but for right now, especially for the first show, there's like a million things going on. And Jay Williams, you could tell. Like, have you ever seen that GIF from Saving Private Ryan where he's like rocking back and forth?
Yeah, and there's just bombs going off around.
Yeah, like all around him, like Jay Williams right now. I'm just picturing him doing that. Like, oh my God, there's so much going on. But we're trying to make it as easy as possible on him.
I'm picturing Jay Williams at the NASA controls during the Apollo 13th event. He's just like pressing a button. He's got like half of the mic like working, one part of his headphones on, like just going crazy, sweating, drinking coffee.
Yeah, he's doing great so far, though. Do we have any other calls, Jay?
Yes, we do. Here comes BZT. I can't pronounce his name properly.
All right, BZT, what's up?
You're on the morning show.
Well, I think what it is, I think he lets us know who it is, and then he answers the call.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, he's gonna be on the morning show with Mooch and Crap. Mooch and Crap.
I like it when
the other's fat.
I can't wait till we actually have somebody else singing that besides you.
I have two questions actually. My first question is to Mooch and Crapgamer. Have you tried out the new clubs feature in the preview program on Xbox yet? And my second question is since Scorpio is coming out next year, and another point of which no one really cares about Call of Duty anymore, is do you think it's possible that Microsoft could get the contract with Activision and Call of Duty again to get map packs first on Xbox? Thank you.
Okay. Good question. Good way to jump in there and ask the questions. Good quality and everything like that. As far as the marketing thing, I think Sony pays like $50 million to do that. Right? To me, I don't think that's worth it for Microsoft. They're definitely getting more third-party stuff, but I think they're getting cheaper stuff, and that enables them to actually, like pay for their first-party stuff. They're doing a lot of first-party stuff, and I like what they're doing. Just because they don't have marketing rights on Call of Duty doesn't mean that people won't play it. They actually have marketing rights on the better game, which is Battlefield 1, which I'm going to get. But I'm actually going to get Call of Duty as well. It's strictly for Call of Duty 4 because that game's phenomenal, and I'm really excited for it. And what was his first question again?
Something with Scorpio. I mean, I couldn't remember if he said it was something about Scorpio. Are we excited for Scorpio's launch? Or I didn't catch the first part either.
Yeah, we have a shortest attention span, people.
Yeah, we have a very short. You know what it is too is there's a lot going on. I'm typing a lot and there's a lot going. But no, in all honesty, I think that first of all he sounded like he was from Europe as well, and I'm just amazed at how many people actually listen to us crap that aren't from the U.S. And I think that that's another thing that resonates really well. And to thank the audience is because we're doing it at the time we're doing it. A lot of the UK and European folks get to enjoy this at a normal time. Our usual podcasts are when these folks are in bed. Yeah,
this is a perfect time because they're 5 hours ahead of us, and so I could see, I always get messages like, hey, greetings from the UK or whatever, so I think that this is a really good option for people like that. And all you guys that are watching, man, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, man. We got over 400 watching, and you guys are being stingy with them likes.
Yeah, for somebody, they got to make that more enticing, don't they, somehow? Because apparently nobody likes hitting the like button. I've noticed that.
Yeah, I'm always like, hey, yeah, go ahead and hit that like button. You got like 400 plus people watching, and there's like, you know what I mean? Do we got a call, Jay?
Yes, we do. Too late.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, damn. Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to also kind of hit on the subject real quick that I actually. I've been playing Doom, Mooch. You've been asking me to get Doom forever, and I got the collector's edition. I've been playing it.
About damn time.
Yeah, I love the actual the killing and stuff. It's awesome. The gameplay is phenomenal. The problem that I have with it is there's a lot of repetitive go do this and this and this, and then there's you have to find a key card or whatever. You know what I mean? That's my bane. You know what I mean? I suck at that. It's I spent an hour and a half looking for keycard to get past one part early on, and I was like, damn. But overall, I think the game is phenomenal.
Well, what did you think, though, Crap? You see all the things I've been telling you about Doom? That's the gameplay is what makes it so rewarding. I know Jez was saying when he was on Crossfire that he found the rewarding part to be the gruesome, the hard metal rock that plays in the background. That's what satisfied the game to him. For me, it was the speed. I know 60 frames is nothing new, but that 60, it feels like 120 frames, doesn't it?
Does.
I mean, it's fast.
Super speedy. Yeah, you can tell. That is really speedy. I know a lot of people are like, you can't tell the difference or whatever, right? But I can. Yeah, you can definitely tell the difference with that. It's very speedy. It's with the Master Chief Collection, I could tell the difference when Halo moved to 60. It makes it difficult to go back and kind of and play the games that are stuck at 30. You know what I'm saying? So. Right. Yeah, it's a little bit.
Now, how far are you in the game? Where are you?
I'm at a place called the beginning of the end or something like that, where I'm trying. I think I'm 3 or 4 levels in or something.
Okay, so you haven't gotten to hell yet?
No, I beat the
hell,
Foundry.
You go to hell, you come back. I thought the game for me personally, and if anyone calls in and wants to talk about Doom, the game went on forever. I mean, I beat the game. I beat it on the hardest setting. It's hard, first of all. Second of all, the game never ended. I mean, it just never ended. You go to hell, and when I got to hell, I was like, hey, this is probably it. Beat this big boss, went back to whatever it wasn't Earth, but wherever you go back to, then you go back to hell, then you go back, and I'm like, holy shit, how many times am I going to keep going back to hell? It is, let me tell you something, Crap. When you think you're at the end, you'll do this 3 or 4 times. You're not. So, don't be amazed when you finish a big boss. Your palms are sweating. You're literally you need a Gatorade after the damn match, and you're like, well, let's see the ending credits, and they're like, back to Earth, and you're like, fuck, that's crazy. It's amazing. The game just keeps going on and on and on.
Yeah.
So it is interesting.
It looks like we have a caller, a repeat caller, our first caller.
Yes, Tom says calling back.
yeah, go ahead and get him on when you can. Anybody else that wants to call in, we're in the last 10 minutes of the show. If you guys want to call in or talk to him or just ask a question real quick. Okay, what's up? You got to tell him he's live.
Yeah, let him know.
I hear you guys a lot of talking about Titanfall, Gears of War 4, ReCore, and Forza, but nobody's talking about Dead Rising 4.
That's a good point.
That is a good point. I have it pre-ordered. I'm excited for it.
You know, good point. To be honest with you, Crap, you've mentioned it, but you're the only one. I got to be honest, you're the only one really that's been talking it up.
Yeah.
The thing about Dead Rising to me, coming because we know you're a fan. I'm a fan, but I'm not an uber fan. Am I gonna get it? Probably. I'm just saying that like I got to see more of it because if it's just Dead Rising 3 cleaned up, I don't know if that's enough for me. I wanted to just do a little bit more. To me, you know what I'm getting? Tell me if you feel this. I'm getting a Dead Rising 3 blended with oh god, what's that Grand Theft Auto rip off that Saints Row? It's like Saints Row meets Dead Rising. Do you see that in this one or no?
You know what? I think they are going a little bit back to like the fun of it. Like
Yes.
Dead Rising 3 was like it had some fun stuff with the bosses and stuff, but it was a little bit more serious. I think they're going back to like the goofy stuff, which I don't mind because
it's
I think like the hardcore zombie stuff is a little bit you know, there's a lot of that out there. So having fun with zombie games is something that I'm interested in, and plus the co-op aspect, I like that. You know what I mean? Like I want to play through it with somebody.
Okay, you know what? Real quick, I want to go back to BZT who called in. He just tweeted me on Twitter. He said, my first question was about, have you guys used the club feature yet? Thank you for repeating that, because pardon me for not remembering it. Let me just say, I want to answer, because I have, first of all, because of my Xbox One S, I forgot to go in and re-register for the preview program, so I'm in pending right now. Hopefully I'll get that today. But my point is that I haven't used the clubs thing yet. And
that was the question that guy asked earlier.
Yeah, that's what BZT asked. Yeah, that's what he just wrote me.
Yeah, just like totally like registered.
So, what do you think, Crap? I mean, you speak to it a little bit. I haven't used it yet, and I know you even have one. And shame on me, I haven't joined your club yet. I will.
Yeah.
But I don't see the use in it. What's the big deal with the club?
Okay. Well, clubs are a way that you can keep in touch with people, right? Like you can start a club. Which, by the way, if you guys are looking and you guys have the preview program, you can look for Xbox Nation Club, and that's mine. And then you can follow and request to join, and then I'll send you guys a request back. It's weird how they do that. You have to invite them back or whatever. So, you know, that's an interesting situation. But I enjoy it because what happens is it's a good way to keep in touch with people that like your fans, Mooch. You know, ones that maybe you don't want to add. Like I don't like to add a bunch of people. Like people follow me. I have like over 4,000 followers on Xbox Live. I don't want to. You can't add that many back. So this is a good way, a club where I can keep in touch with the people and like they can interact with me. But I don't have to like load up my friends list with people that most likely I'm not going to play with much. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I mean, but is that what it ends up being though? Because like you listen, everyone that's made a club, okay, nobody wants to be like, no, you don't shun anybody. So you've made it open to the public, 18 and over, all languages welcome.
They still have to request, and you still have to approve it.
Oh, okay.
They can follow you, but they can't actually be in the club unless you request it. So we got another call, Graphic God. The Graphic God.
He hung up. He got tired of waiting.
Oh, okay. I mean,
we apologize to people that. No, I understand that you don't want to sit there and wait forever, but we do want to address other questions too.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, so I like it, and you can also like do a party with whoever, like a quick party, and like.
Sorry, I know I'm calling you guys again. One more question. For this whole price point, Scorpio, I know they're going to have a lot of stuff in it. You know, I mean, for when you guys are talking about the Zen and the 12 gigs of RAM and VR ready, do you guys think? I was actually thinking between 700 and 800. Just going off of what Aaron Greenberg said about being a premium game device.
Yeah.
It would be between 700 and 800, or I have people telling me it's going to be 500. To me, I think Microsoft has the power and the money to take a hit like that to even make it below 1,000. But what do you guys think on the price range? And who's honey digging?
I didn't hear that last part he screamed out, but that was funny. Crap, you want me to take it away?
Well, hold on. Like they say premium because it is going to be premium, but people, again, I've already said this like a million times. They could have came out with a 6 teraflop machine this year for $600. They're waiting because these things are coming with the cheaper, better parts next year. So you're going to see probably a $400 version and a $500 version. Book that in, man. I'm telling you, 1 terabyte for $399, 2 terabyte $499. Lock it in.
Well, listen, I'm gonna go ahead and say this crap. Every day that goes by, I'm agreeing with you more and more, but I'm still a bit hesitant. I understand where the caller was coming in and saying that, because we were told that, you know, don't expect this to be an El Cheapo because it is a premium product. And every single time we turn around, crap, you're getting news. We're all getting news that this box is getting this Xbox Scorpio is getting stronger and stronger. So with that being said, and you know, I don't think there will be a 1 terabyte. I think the entry level will be a 2 terabyte. I think that this thing is not going to be $400. I think it's going to be. I think the intro price is $499. And I know what we talked about the other day. I understand where you're coming from, crap. But here's the thing. In all honesty, this thing has to be $500. It doesn't need to compete with the Pro. It kills the Pro.
Well, yeah, but check this out. Next year, the Pro is going to go down to $350.
Yeah, but the Pro's an Xbox One S.
Yes, but it's going to go down to $350. I'm telling you. And
That's fine. So the Pro will be $350, right? And then the S will be $200, and the Scorpio will be $500. It's a different world. I don't think it needs to compete.
I do, but look, Sony is pitching it like it's got to compete, right? With that whole 4K narrative, like the average person, because they are lying. Like, you see the articles, how Sony's doing 4K without actually doing 4K. Like that, I'm not kidding. That is a legit article that's going on right now, right? How Sony's doing 4K without doing 4K. Like, that is seriously, when people are sitting there going, hey. You know what I mean? They're thinking that's a 4K thing. They're marketing that as their 4K machine. Microsoft is going to market theirs as the 4K machine, and so, you know, we're going to have to come up with a situation where it's going to have to be competitive with price. You can't be $150 more than that, and I can guarantee they're going to drop it by $50 next year to compete. So I think they're probably.
You make a great point, crap. Yeah. You really do. But I mean, realistically, you said it yourself. Look, I'll agree with you if you'll agree with me. I don't think Microsoft wants to make any money on the Scorpio. I think they want to break even and get those boxes in the house. Once it's in the home, people will start buying because they're going to see the difference in graphical capability. And like Worry said on Crossfire the other day, and many people have said, it's about graphics are not resolution. But this 12 gig of RAM that Microsoft's going to be putting in this beast of a box, we're going to see a graphical boost here for the first time as console owners. So you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, yeah. They're going to break even at 400. They're not going to make a red cent. They may even lose like $15-20 on 400. But if that's what you think, you are right. Sony's getting the media to help them again. I mean, can you repeat that headline again, please? Because I want to actually enjoy it while I take a sip of coffee.
Yeah, it's how the PS4 Pro does 4K without actually doing 4K.
Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? That's almost like something like a painting from Monet.
Yeah, and the same guy wrote an article about Quantum Break about how it was 720p. And
right. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's the hypocrite that bashed the 720p process that they went through in order to get the 1080p, but the checkerboard process that they're using for 4K on Pro is completely acceptable.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, here it is. How Sony's PlayStation 4 Pro does 4K without delivering actual 4K. And here's another one. Forget 4K Blu-ray. As a diehard PC gamer, I'm hugely impressed by the PS4 Pro.
That's amazing.
I mean, seriously, yes.
That is really amazing.
Oh, there we go.
Producer coming in with a couple of sound. We have a huge sound effect reel that we're gonna be. That's something that was a work in progress. I think next week we'll have that up to 100%. But if you hear random sound effects, we're just trying new stuff out. Jay, do we got any more callers?
No more callers.
Okay. Well, I mean, look, it's almost like noon.
Yeah, it's noon.
Yeah, it is. It's like 11:59.
Now, crap, is next week we're still on for 10:30? I know that's. I just want to make sure we're confirmed for the audience.
It's going to be either 10:30 or 11. It will definitely be, just because, just with the work schedule and situation like that, I'm going to try to be there as much as possible to keep it a steady time. You know what I mean? It just kind of depends. Wow, now we almost have 4:50. Almost don't want to end the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. But you know, this is the good news, everybody. We wanted to make it so that M&C in the morning doesn't interfere, especially with a lot of people's football addiction. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, sports. We don't do sports." We're not going to be talking much sports at all on this channel at all. Pretty much less than 1%. But the point of the matter is that we do know a lot of you have a lot of stuff going on with your families. If we do get feedback over the week, though, that you want it longer, I mean, crap, I'm willing to go longer in the future. I know that we talked about making it an hour and a half, but it's completely.
Well, I mean, look at how many people we have here right now. I mean?
Yeah, 450 people is that's impressive.
Hey, I mean, look, if you guys, what do you guys want to take it another 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah, we got another 15, 20 minutes. Get another couple phone calls in here. We'll answer another question or two, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, so yeah, okay, so yeah, we're gonna take it a little bit long, and then you guys call us in. Let us know. Let us know if you guys like the show. That's what we gotta do. Give us validation. Let it mark out a little bit. Let us know that you like the show, that you think it's a good idea. What you want to see in the show in the future. What would you like to see us cover? What would you change? Give us a little bit of feedback. You know what I mean? I would love to hear what you guys think. So give us a call. M&C Mornings.
Yeah, you know, this show really is about the people, right, Crap? So we want to hear from them.
Okay, we've got.
Let's go.
We have Josie on the line.
Josie, what's up?
You're live.
Let them know, Jay. You gotta say it every time.
Yeah.
Oh, am I live now or not?
Yes.
Okay, I guess I'm live. All right. The question is, address a video addressing the whole Digital Foundry and saying how the checkerboard is amazing.
Jay, ask him to repeat that again.
Yeah. Oh, he hung up. Okay. Bad connection there. Like something about Digital Foundry. So I'm gonna say that Digital Foundry is.
Is that him calling back?
No, this is now Roberts.
Okay, put him on. Yeah, tell him to put him on. Let us know how we're doing. That's what I want to hear. I want validation.
Hey, how are you? I'm a guy from Latvia, so I hope you understand my English. It's not my first language.
Very.
But what I want to say, here back home, Xbox really dominates the market, not the PlayStation.
Nice.
I own Xbox One. I just ordered the Xbox One S. I'm going to buy the ReCore.
And he hung up.
But no, listen. I think he was basically validating the fact that he's an Xbox fan and he's from Latvia.
Okay. Well, what's interesting is we're getting all these calls from like other places. It's very interesting. You know what I mean?
It's awesome. I mean, I'm glad to hear that. I mean, don't get me wrong. You know me. Waving my American flag, especially today. We'll do something at the end for our fallen at 9/11. Today is a day to remember for sure.
Yeah, 15 years ago. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. It felt like yesterday.
Who do we got, Jay?
Jay, who do we got on?
We got somebody, I'm sure. Everybody's dying to get on Mooch and Crap. One is thin and the other is fat. Talk about this and that.
Pretty sure you're going to get a copyright for that one.
No, it's a parody.
Oh, is it a parody? You can do that? Great.
Yeah, it's just parody. I mean, look, like we could do name that song and just like talk the lyrics or whatever, and you'd be fine. You know what I mean? Like nothing. You know, it's all good. Like you can hear Jay Williams. Like he's like, hey, what's up, people? You got to call in. Just be like ready to go on. State your name, your question, mark out. Be like, hey, Mooch, I'm a big fan.
The minute Jay answers the Skype, Jay, you answer the Skype. Say you're live with Mooch and Crap. Just start talking, guys. We'll shut up. Believe me.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Question is, what's your opinion? What's your take on the Digital Foundry video that they made after the PS4K reveal, which they pretty much based upscaling for 30 minutes straight and HDR for 30 minutes straight?
Okay.
But the upscaling stuff, right? Like it's interesting because Sony was saying, there's they shied away from actually saying upscale. So Digital Foundry did confirm that it was like they're using a lot of upscale and things like that, and I guess like HDR light is kind of the way they described it. So I mean, look, you can't flat out lie about something. Like a lot of times what Digital Foundry does, they'll give the PlayStation version of a game a win, which will be based on opinion. Even if both are the exact same, they'll do that. So what Digital Foundry is doing here is, because other people have this equipment now and run their own tests and stuff, so they have to be honest and say, well, it's HDR light or it's not true 4K or whatever. And so I think that people are still confused. Does the PS4 Pro do 4K native? Which I guess a couple of games it will, like last gen remasters, or I guess that Skyrim online multiplayer game. But for the most part, it's not, So digital.
Well, the thing about Digital Foundries, and listen, we're not going to find this stuff out. I said this a long time ago. We're not going to find this stuff out for a long, long time. Digital Foundries is somewhere within the vicinity of Sony's money pockets. Here's the thing: they come out, they make these things. When Microsoft does something, you have that guy who's he reminds me of Gordon Ramsay. Hello, this is something or another from, and he's just so glum.
Hold on. Yeah, go ahead, man.
This is Patrick Peters.
What's up, Pat?
What's up, buddy?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Now I can.
Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm just calling to say that you guys have done a great job. This is a cool idea. Give me your props, man. Look forward to it every week. I wanted to say.
Awesome, man. We got a mark. We love it.
Always good to get a mark. I appreciate that. But going back to Digital Foundries real quick, I'll tell you the truth. There's something going on over there, because here, could you imagine? I always like to say this: don't listen to just me and crap in our scenarios. Just in your mind, turn the whole situation around. Let's say Microsoft came out this year because they were in trouble with the Xbox One, and they made something that was the Microsoft Xbox One Pro, and all it really did was nothing more than what the S does. Wouldn't Digital Foundry be saying something like, well, there it is again, Microsoft not paying attention, Sony's going to come out with something next year, it's going to destroy them again, right? We don't see any of that, though, crap.
Yeah.
It's just defending Sony nonstop. Look at how they really do get the 4K, kind of, not really.
Yeah.
That's all I keep seeing videos.
Well, the interesting thing is, did you see, and I pointed this out, a developer for Rise of the Tomb Raider who worked on the PS4 version said that it's Sony's PR that was purposely ambiguous about about basically letting people know that it's 4K or whatever. They didn't actually say 4K, so it's upscale. That's going to be the thing. It's going to be an upscale thing, and I think that it's misleading. Just like the HDR thing. Look, somebody, who was it? Mason, that said that earlier.
Yes.
HDMI 1.4 can't do true HDR. It can't. What they're doing is like this light, half-assed version, and I think that it's upsetting because the media ran with it, and the only place that they called them out was Xbox Mad, right? Like, you can't do that. Look at the official facts. You can't do true HDR10 with HDMI 1.4, and you can't software implement it. So, and also 1080p can't do HDR anyway. You need a 4K. You need a 4K machine. So yeah, I think that it's ridiculous.
Let me ask you a question, crap. Is there a different cable in the box that's coming with the S? I think that's a different HDMI cable, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So
that's my point. Like, how are they able to do this? Even if they're able to push it through, and shout out to Hebot. I don't know if he's on right now, but he was listening the other day on Crossfire. He was saying what they would do is retract some of the the actual data that's going through so that they can make room for the HDR. But I don't know how that would actually. I'd have to see more technical writing on it than just the paragraph that he provided me. But if they do it, it's still going to be an HDR light. It's not going to be true HDR.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Just for those in the chat asking how the call-in works, right? So when we're actually talking, there's a 10-second delay between what me and Mooch are saying and when you guys hear it. So how the call-ins work is Jay Williams is the only one you're going to be able to hear, and he's going to say, you're on live with Mooch and Crap. And then you just have to say your name if you want, and then ask your question or comment, and then that's basically it. And then we'll have to answer it, but you have to hang up at that time because what happens is there's such a delay, it makes it impossible to just talk back and forth like we would on the phone.
Yeah, and I think one thing just to make it more clear too to the audience is you guys are hearing it crystal clear and on time. The caller is the only person who can't understand what we're saying is the caller.
Yeah, we got somebody. Go ahead.
We've got Colin here on the line. Oh, he left.
Oh.
There for a second.
It's nice to see. Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, it's like, and we're working through this process. This is the first episode. We expected some issues and things like that, but at the end of the day, I think it's going well. When like the sound quality and stuff, especially considering we're getting a lot of people from different countries and things like that, which is actually blowing my mind. I mean, people from Germany, England. What was that other one from?
Latvia.
Yeah.
No, and don't get me wrong. Like I said, folks, I said it at the early part of the show. It's not. Everyone likes to use the word beta, right? Or excuse me, a tech. This is a tech test alpha.
Caller, long-time listener. I got a question for both of you. I'm a hardcore Xbox guy. I got a 4K TV, Xbox One S, and I got my OG Xbox for $100 that I could sell. But why would I get a PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 Slim, or a PlayStation Pro? I'm going to play my multiplats on my Xbox. Can somebody sell me on a PlayStation Pro, please? Thanks.
First of all, well done on the call, sir. And I'll tell you this much. I love to sell people things, right? That's what I do. Let me tell you what I can't do. I can't sell you a PS4. Here's the thing, and let's take the hate and the bias out of it. Multiplats are predominantly bought in the Xbox community on the Xbox because you want to be part of this social community. The amazing time we had last night on Overwatch, what we're doing today to get the community involved. That right there, I can't talk you into it. And the graphical capability that people used to say was such a big deal. Crap says it all the time. The P's conversation is gone. The Xbox One S is ramping up and giving you probably 10 to 11% better on the CPU side and graphical boost up in the 4K upscaling. So you don't need that if you have an Xbox One S. The other thing is there's no games coming to PlayStation. How am I supposed to sell you a gaming console when they don't have anything coming out? They canceled Gran Turismo Sport. They have that Last Guardian coming out that nobody cares about. Nobody cares. Listen, I don't care what anybody says. They're going to sell very few units of that. That's a niche thing that most new gamers don't even know what that game is. They don't know what it stems from. The hype train left about 4 or 5 years ago on that. And then Horizon Event Zero, listen, don't tell me you're excited about it. Wait till the game comes out and see. Guerrilla Games makes a very beautiful game with zero story, and who gives a it's a who gives a shit factor.
We got somebody. Go ahead.
Say that they should continue with this because it's like a really, really, it's a nice thing to interact with your fans and also people who agree with you. And to Mooch, I sent him an invite to the preview program so I could get back in it, and I had a really nice discussion with him on Twitter earlier with some other guy called Paul who didn't sound like he knew what he was talking about. But anyways, I really like the show, and yeah, keep up the great work. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for marking out.
And thank you for sending me that preview. I did see that. I am already in the preview program. I believe when you get a new console, whether it's the old fat one that you got a new one, or you got the Xbox One S, you have to go back into the preview app, and you have to re-register your console, and then Microsoft evaluates to see that you're on the list, and that your Xbox Live account is on the list, and then they send it through. So I had my Xbox One S set up for a while, and I'm like, how come I'm not getting these? And then GKB said, did you register it again? I said, oh, I forgot about that. So I did it like a day ago, so I'm hoping that I get the new update today or tomorrow. But regardless, no, thank you for that. I do appreciate it, and that's awesome to get a grade like that. I think that, the key thing, Crap, we did this a while ago on BGST, but the reason it's working here is that we're allowing the audience to hear them as they are not like they're a third-party caller, but it brings them right into the mix.
Yeah, I agree 100%. You know what I mean? And again, this is the first episode, so there's a little bit of we're feeling stuff out. Things are going to get smoother and smoother as we go along.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, and you guys will get, we'll understand what to do a little bit better as far as, like, the delay and things like that. You'll hop in, your name, ask your question, say your comment or whatever and things like that. And we're also going to have, like, the funny thing was we had different things planned, and the interactions has been so good that we didn't even get to hit on most of the topics.
Yeah, we have other things that we were going to do, but
we had a top 5 countdown. So,
yeah.
Like, we were going to do our top 5 countdown of games for this year so far, and it looks like we didn't even really get to do that. Well, okay, we got a phone call. What's up? Put them on, Jay. Let them know. Let them know they're on live with Mooch and Crap in the mornings. Mooch and Crap. Mooch and Crap.
That damn.
All right, how you doing, Graphic God, Crapgamer, Mooch? Question for y'all: Do y'all think they'll be the Scorpio exclusive, or will they bring that out beforehand? Thanks and peace.
Do we think that there'll be Scorpio exclusives, or is that what he
That's
asked?
what I heard. Jay, did you hear that? Did he ask for a particular game?
Well, we know that there's not going to be any Scorpio exclusive except for VR stuff.
Right. I was wondering if he said, like, I'm making this up. I don't know if he said, do you think Crackdown 3 will be an Xbox Scorpio exclusive? But I think maybe what we should answer is more what you said, Crap. Will there be Scorpio exclusives, meaning that, like, games that only play on that? I think you're going to see Scorpio exclusives, but you're not going to see them until, like, a year and a half, 2 years into that generation.
Yeah, so Microsoft have already said that there's not going to be Scorpio exclusives, but what the Scorpio people are getting are the PC versions of these games, the higher end versions. So you're going to get like the real good textures, not the same deal as the PS4 Pro where they're using, 1080p renders and things like that and upscaling them. You're going to see like 4K textures and things like that. I can imagine there's going to be some hefty installs for Scorpio game versions of games or whatever, but you are going to be able to play multiplayer games against people on Xbox One, Xbox One S, or whatever. So I think that that's pretty cool, and they probably just throttle back the.
Listen, Crap, I got no, and I think the gentleman that called in just before this guy did, he nailed it when he said it. I was in a conversation earlier today. People are doing the same ridiculous response to what the UWP is, Universal Windows Platform, and what Windows 10 is going to be capable to do. People don't seem to understand. This is the same negativity we got with the cloud. And now you don't believe in the cloud? Go play Titanfall 1, then go play Titanfall 2, and look at what the cloud does. When you have actual interaction, the world is alive. It's able to do other things, even if it's just background, that make the game feel more immersive. So my point being here is that when you put a game, Crackdown 3, okay, Crackdown 3, let's say it's a launch with the Scorpio, but Crackdown 3 is going to play on your Xbox One S and Xbox One day one. When you go to put the game in physical disc or you play the game digitally, the hardware will know, the software will then speak to the hardware and up-res or down as it needed. People don't seem to understand that, like, Microsoft can't do that, that's black magic. No, it's not. It's real, it's technology, it exists. And it's nothing that's beyond any kind of comprehension, right? PC games. PC developer, those are ports. This is the same thing. The software is going to do the porting for us now. And people don't seem to understand that crap, that when you have Crackdown 3, it's going to look better on a Scorpio than it is on an Xbox One S. And they're like, that's impossible. They're going to be dumbing down Scorpio games. No, they're not. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think people understand that they're able to do that, to have two graphical capabilities, but yet running off of, like, one piece of software. Because that's what UWP does.
Yeah, I mean, and that's going to be something that's very exciting. Like, we're not getting, like, the PS4 Pro is basically playing the same games on the PS4, so there's not really an advantage there. Whereas the Scorpio is going to get like the PC higher end versions, which I love because that takes away a lot of ammo from PlayStation gamers and PC gamers, right? I got the PC version, I can play that. Well, guess what, man? I got the Scorpio version, chump. I can play in 4K all day. You know what I mean? That's all day.
Right. No, and that's exactly where I'm at with this whole thing. I mean, I don't know. Like I say, I don't understand why people keep thinking when Microsoft says, it's not like Microsoft is like a company down the road that like just came up with something in an incubator lab. You know what I mean? Like, these are big. This is like the second or third or first at times, depending if you're going by monetarily, largest company in the world. Hi, we have cloud computing. F you don't know what you're talking about. What do you do, sir? I sell hot dogs on corners. All right, so calm down. Why you don't believe Microsoft can do these things? Like, who are these people that are saying this all the time? Like, there's no such thing as the cloud. There's no such thing as UWP. Who are you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
hey, there was no such thing as HDR either until Sony came out and announced it. Right?
HDR's a fad. That's stupid. Sony, Andrew House came out in his helium voice. We are now presenting HDR. Holy shit! I gotta get an HDR TV.
HDR. And then hold on, you gotta be what's his name? Mark Cerny. Guys, HDR. It's really nice. This is how you use it.
Mark Cerny, could you tell us a little bit about how you came up with the PS4 Pro? Well, I started by making pretty little trees, and then when I got done, is that Bob Ross? I'm sorry, my apologies. Why would you listen? I'm an engineer. Do not let an engineer take the stage unless they have ridiculous stage presence. Mark Cerny, get back to the lab. You don't belong on a stage. I'm sorry. I don't give a shit. It was a bad presentation. I don't think Jack Trenton could have saved that.
Oh yeah, I mean that was difficult. That was a difficult one to do or anything like that. Yo, Jay, do we have any more callers?
No one's been calling in. No.
No, nobody's calling in. Damn, we already died off that fast, huh?
Well, no, it's not that. I think that we did tell everybody 12 o'clock, and now we did a 20-minute buffer after. So I would say that we would say, let's do an outro and tell everybody a little bit about next week and what time they can meet us.
Okay, so next week we'll be doing Mooch and Crap in the morning on Mooch's channel, and we're gonna advertise it like crazy this week, all over, so you guys will know, and we'll get his channel and stuff. I got his Twitter and everything linked in the description below, and so you guys will be able to find that. I think it's gonna be, I would say, between 10:30 and 11:30 is when it's gonna start. We'll narrow that down. I'll know more as the week goes on, as far as that goes. And we'll actually get to do our top 5 games. I think that should be something that people will actually look forward to. So we're gonna give our thoughts on the top 5 games of this year so far, and probably have a lot of other cool stuff. I mean, what do you think, Mooch?
Absolutely. Like I said, I want to thank everybody for coming out today and give us. Thanks for giving us today and giving us next week to really just kind of. There's a lot of stuff that we still have planned. That is completely and utterly one-on-one with the audience. We don't want the audience just sitting there listening. We want you guys to be able to be as an active part of this as much. You guys are directing. You guys may not realize this, but me and Crap wrote a bunch of topics. You have to have topics ready if need be. But I don't know if anybody realized this, but the audience decided where this show went. So,
yeah, which was really good. Yeah. And then like shout out She-Wolf and everybody. She's been controlling the chat, which is good because, man, I mean, we had almost 450 people watching on a morning when football starts. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah, you guys all did really great thing. And over 300 likes. That's incredibly impressive. Like, this couldn't have started off any better. We all thought that it was going to be we figured we had to, and we're going to have to continue to build on it. It's going to continue to get better. I can promise you that. And it's something unique, and I fully expect other people to try to bite on what we're doing, but remember who started it.
Yeah, well, the other thing, I want to let the audience know something else, too, because we've said it a couple times. I'm going to make it very clear. You will get a lot of advertisement for this show throughout the week from me and Crap, and I believe we're going to even possibly try to get a small 15-second video put together. My point being is you'll always know the time and what channel, so don't be like, oh, I'm confused. Did you say 10:30 or 11? Is it Mooch or Crap? You will know. If you follow us on Twitter, you're actually going to probably start writing to us saying, we got it. We know when you're on. So my point being is don't say you won't know. We'll make sure that everybody's well aware of what channel and what time. But predominantly just if you think 10:30 is on Sunday mornings, you're never going to be late. Let's put it that way.
And yes, we hear you. There's going to be merchandise and stuff like that. We'll have the producer Jay Williams working on that stuff. Because I already see people asking, where can I get an M&C Morning shirt?
I want an M&C Morning coffee mug.
Coffee mug, yeah.
Coffee mug, because this is what it's all about. It's all about mornings. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, and nobody's doing something like this. So make sure you guys write down. If you like the call-in idea and you want to call in, download Skype on your phone or whatever. MC Mornings, one word. And then you'll be able to call us in on Skype, and we'll answer live, and you'll get to talk, and you got to learn about the delays and stuff like that. But
hopefully the delays are just. Oh, we're also doing something else, guys. We should let the audience know. We're also going to be doing voicemails too. So you'll be able to call eventually MC Mornings on Skype, and you'll be able to leave a message with all and then we'll actually have it. We'll go to a point where we do like our mail. We'll say let's do our voicemail, and Jay will actually play it, and it'll have your name. Make sure you give all your credentials so people can start to follow you and ask us a question. So we're going to do live, and we're going to do voicemails that we have in our inbox.
Yeah. And in case you guys missed the intro song, Jay, are you ready?
Jay, are you ready to hit us with an intro to go outro?
Jay Williams.
Jay Williams, the producer who's on mute.
You have to turn me up.
Okay, I'm gonna crank you up.
Crank him up.
And we're gonna say thank you everybody for joining. Go ahead and hit that stuff, Jay.
Yeah, thanks everybody. We'll catch you
everybody.
next
We'll
Sunday.
catch you guys later.